5-7.
Tells me that it's going to be such a confidence builder that it will bring him to another level as a player.
The only way I could look at it, if you were going to talk about how the players should be ranked or seated, is that Luis just did something that Emmett PEIXOTO has never done. He beat Paul Brady.
Right.
Emmett PEIXOTO hasn't been able to beat Tony Healy, and Sean Linning has been able to do that. Sean Linning has also proven that he can compete with Paul Brady. I would say that Emmett and Luis Moreno at this stage right now, in my opinion, are exactly equal. And if Luis goes on to beat Emmett in a tougher draw, then in my opinion, Luis is a player that would be ranked higher than Emmett. In other words, Emmett's stock would fall just a little bit.
6-7.
And you can't really base that on one tournament, but Luis doesn't play many tournaments. The last time we saw Luis play a major tournament, he lost to Nati Alvarado in the quarterfinals.
Bad bounce, replay.
Well, hopefully he'll be coming to more tournaments, and there'll be some more
6.
some more prize money out there.
6-7.
In fact, the last 2 times we saw Luis play, he lost to Nati Alvarado in the quarterfinals. One was the 2007 U.S. Open, and the other one was the Showtime in Seattle event. So for a long time, it was obviously hard for us to judge. Now, if you're going to judge off of one tournament, Luis Moreno is either the 3rd or 4th best player, depending on the result here. Watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. Men's 3rd place finals. Emmett PEIXOTO
7-6
versus Luis Moreno. Referee James Comstoff scores 7-6, second game. You're not going to see much of a lead change. These guys are going to just keep
slide ball, replay.
the same sort of scores all the way to the end here.
Glove change, 2 minutes. Luis, change your glove.
Let's go back over to court number 1, where it's Dave Chapman and Nati Alvarado playing in that one for 5th place. We have a live webcast camera on that one. If we can cut James Comstoff's microphone during this time, let's go to Dave Fink. Dave?
Luis won the first.
Yeah, Luis, you change your shirt?
I was thinking maybe we can get an update from that Nati Alvarado Dave Chapman match over there on the other court. But it looks like I see Nati Alvarado. No, that's still Luis. I did the same thing you did. I don't know how many times this tournament I've seen Luis Moreno, and it really was Nati and the other way around.
Well, sometimes when there's a shadow on the player, it's a little hard to distinguish them.
But they do look a lot alike in the court.
They do, and it appears that Dave Fink is not wearing his earpiece right now, otherwise he would have heard us. But maybe we can get someone there to switch us over.
We can watch that action on the other court. This is new technology for us. We're going to obviously attempt to do this at more events where we can split up our cameras as they become available. Certainly able to watch live webcasting wherever our cameras and cords will take us. And fortunately for us, just a little bit to the left of that court right there, you can see another handball court. And it's, hey, I was thinking, you know, why don't we just move a camera over about 4 feet? We'll watch both webcasting matches at the same time. We have Dave Chapman playing Nati Alvarado in that other court, up 14-4. Here it is. I don't know if Dave Fink can hear me now. Dave?
I can hear you guys.
Tell me what's going on here in this court.
Nati Jr. actually making a really nice comeback here. He's outscored Dave 9-2 since that 12-0 deficit. Now trails 14-9. Dave Chapman just killing that ball. Looked like a little bit of a miss hit. Let's listen in here. I'm actually standing here next to the lovely Carrie Alvarado, Nati Alvarado's wife. Carrie, I know Nati's probably pretty disappointed with his result here, losing in the quarterfinals to Emmett. What does this match mean to him today? I know he's only playing for 5th place, but he's playing against his great rival, Dave Chapman. Has he mentioned anything to you about what this match might mean to him?
You know, honestly, he has not said anything. He's real quiet about these matches. He just kind of keeps to himself, and I think he's just mentally preparing and thinking it all through. I'm sure this would be huge for him, obviously.
Thank you very much, Carrie. Nati has been known to keep things to himself. He likes to visualize and focus on his own. He's back here in the server's box. There's a great serve there from Nadi Alvarado Jr. Going for that crack on the left side wall. Dave Chapman able to get his hand underneath that ball. Looked like he tried to shoot that ball straight down the left wall. Came up a little bit short. Nadi Alvarado Jr. wins the point. Score is now 10 serving 15. What looked like was going to be a throwaway game from up here, guys, has now turned into a pretty competitive battle.
Do you think, Dave, because it is so early in the morning, you're seeing some of these players take about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to get some of that rust off?
That's certainly possible. Dave Chapman was in here at 8:30 this morning throwing the ball around. He probably warmed up for about 45 minutes. Nadi Jr. didn't start warming up until a little bit after 9 o'clock. They started this match around 9:15, so it certainly is possible Nadi Jr. wasn't all the way prepared at this hour in the morning to play. Certainly he's got his feet moving a lot better now. You have to wonder if conditioning is playing any role here for Dave Chapman. Particularly in the beginning of this game, Dave Chapman ending a lot of the rallies very early, particularly for him, shooting a lot of balls with his left hand off the back wall. He was successful in doing that, in surmounting that 12-0 lead. Nadi Jr. now coming back, hitting the ball extremely hard, moving extremely well as well. Right now we're looking at a towel timeout. Dave Chapman disputing that hinder call from Florida's Nelson Quintero. Dave Chapman diving, killing that ball into the left corner, staying down. Looked like that ball was up, though. Shouldn't have much of an argument here. We'll send it back to the Emmett Peixoto-Luis Moreno match and look forward to updating you again very soon. Dave?
Thank you, Mr. Fink. It's 7-6 over here in court number 2. This one for third place. Dave Chapman and Nadi Alvarado playing for 5th place and a few $1,000s. This one on the line, though, Ben, it's $7,000 for third place.
Point. What?
7,000 for third place and 4,000 for fourth.
It's a timeout.
James,
1 minute.
James Comstoff is actually going to
Luis, is your shirt wet?
award Luis Moreno with a timeout.
Shirt,
a glove time. He was going to try to get another glove change after a glove change, and he said, nope, I'm going to give you a timeout on that. As we go back over to court number 1, watch this rally between Nadi Alvarado and Dave Chapman. Mr. Fink, this is a nice little a rally here, no?
Beautiful rally. Some nice front court exchange there. Here's a setup for Dave Chapman. He goes back to the ceiling with it, puts Nadi in that left corner. Tremendous shot. Nadi Alvarado Jr., one of the only players in the world of handball that could execute that left-handed back wall kill straight back down the left wall about an inch high. Dave Chapman obviously anticipating a cross-court either kill or pass, positioned himself towards the right side of the court. There's nothing he could have done with that ball right there.
What's the score here now? It's a score.
Score is now 10 serving 15. Dave Chapman served that last rally. Here's a ceiling rally here. This is exactly what Dave Chapman wants. Beautiful ceiling ball there from Nadi Alvarado. Here's the back wall setup he wants.
I like how Nadi sees Dave take that ball off the back wall and gets up into about the middle part of the court near the short line. And you can see him putting his left elbow up just in case the ball, comes toward his head. But you can see he's really into this game right now. Nadi's changed the tides just a bit in his mannerisms.
Nadi Jr.'s left looks about as good as I've seen it since the 2006 U.S. Open final. Nadi Jr.'s rolled a number of balls out with his left. I think that's what prevented him from winning that match against Emmett Peixoto. Unable to execute his left-hand back wall kill. There's Dave Chapman with his vintage dump kill into that right corner. He's asking for the towel now. Actually rolled that ball out flat.
Okay, we're going to switch back now to our third place match. And here we have Luis Moreno and Emmett Peixoto.
9-6 here. That's Emmett's up in the second game after losing the first one 21-13. After the next timeout, we'll go back to the 5th place match, and Dave Fink, you'll keep us up to date with what's going on.
I like that switching back and forth.
9-6.
So does Sarah Palin.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Out.
You can say whatever you want about Sarah Palin. but you cannot say that she's not well dressed.
That's a good point. The Waterford Crystal 2009 World Handball Championships will be held October 4th through the 11th, 2009. That's Sunday to Sunday at the Multnomah Athletic Club, or the MAC as some people like to call it. If you'd like to find out more information about the World's Handball Tournament, go to www.handball09worlds.com. That's a screen serve. And a no call from James Comstock. We'll talk more about the Handball World Championships, the Waterford Crystal 2009 World Handball Championships in just a bit. Try to expand on that just for those that don't know exactly how this tournament's going to turn out. They're expecting over 1,000 people to enter that event in 2009 in October.
Yeah, that's going to be a great tournament.
And if you've never been to Portland, Oregon in October, you're really missing out. It's about the time of year you want to go there. Weather is absolutely perfect. And it's a town where you can bring the whole family, too. So many things to do in Portland, Oregon.
Point.
That's what we saw Luis do to Emmett in the first game right there.
10-6.
10 serve 6. This is the second game. Before this tournament started, Ben, I took a piece of paper and wrote down different possibilities of people that I thought could make the finals, and I wrote down Emmett and Luis Moreno
10-6.
as about my 5th choice. Here they're playing for 3rd.
Point.
It wasn't my first choice, but I thought that there was a possibility we could see Luis Moreno in the finals.
11-6.
I even had Emmett playing Sean Linning in the finals.
Point. 12-6.
12 serve 6.
Right out.
Emmett just missing that kill shot off the back wall. The Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball 3rd place finals
6-12.
between Luis Moreno and Emmett PEIXOTO.
It's our final day of the Simple Green U.S. Open. Simple Green has been on the cutting edge of non-toxic, biodegradable, environmentally friendly cleaning products
7-12.
for over 35 years. And we're glad to have them as a sponsor of this event. And they'll be back next year as well.
Replay. I'm watching it.
What time is that?
7-12.
Time's that doubles match coming up, Dave? Chavez Munoz.
Well, since you stole my bracket, 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. A.M., excuse me, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You said it hit him, Emmett. You said it hit him on the way in. Replay. You can appeal it. He's saying Luis said the ball hit him on the way in. I have to agree with that call. So if you guys saw something else, yeah, they didn't see anything. It's a replay.
Luis felt the ball go by and touch his glove on the way by, and
7-12. Right out. 12-7.
12 serve 7. Emmett told me after the second round of handball, he felt that the referees were against him at this tournament. He said every single call went against his way of thinking, and he's had a couple calls that went against him already this match. And now this last call underneath his skin, you'd think after a while he just gets to a point where he just says, forget it. You don't want Emmett to get too emotional. He's got a 5-point lead here.
Well, Dave, what's your take on the quality of the officiating in this tournament?
the same as all the other tournaments.
12-7.
Until you actually put a referee on the clock and make them accountable financially. Now they are paying the referees at this event, but it's, you know,
13-7.
just a few dollars per event.
It's a point. It's a point.
Wow, Luis
You
went
were
over the line.
Luis. You were. Your foot was way over the line. You can appeal it. I called it a point.
I haven't seen this called in a long time.
He hit it. Both agree. Call stands.
I haven't seen that in a long time. Emmett serves the ball. Luis goes over it. He did it earlier that I thought he went over the line, but James just probably logged that and said, I might have made a bad call there this time. Luis steps over the short line. Actually, he hits it behind the short line, but in his follow-through, he swings his tip of his foot around that short line. It's a strange rule. Some would say, well, what difference does that make? But it, obviously, if you can't
14-7.
stay back behind that line, then you're breaking the infraction. 14 serve 7. Luis likes to come up and cut balls off like that. You can tell that this game's getting tighter now. Both players are looking back at the referee a lot. When you start seeing that, you know that there's more tension in the court.
Referee James Comstoff keeping Luis honest. You can't put your foot over the line when you're returning serve.
Well, Brewer and Shipley back in the 70s had one toe over the line, but it wasn't one toe over the line.
Tied out.
I noticed some criticism of one of our referees
7-14.
on the message board last night, Dave.
And what did they say? I have not really been on the message board.
Well, I don't put much stock in what someone says about a pro who's reffing a game, because it's a non-pro criticizing a pro.
14-7.
It's also someone who doesn't have the luxury of seeing the game the way the refs here see it. They're watching it on a webcast on their little screen.
On which shot? On the ground?
While the referee is watching it from 10 feet away.
Yeah, I didn't read what was said, but it's odd because we're sitting here with a nice camera angle here. We're able to see what's going on in the court, and there's so many times that I think I see a short ball. But it's the way that the frames work that you're just missing the ball coming up. And
exactly.
And then to say that you're judging it from a webcast is bad. But there were some calls that I saw yesterday that had nothing to do with the ball skipping or ball making over the short line. We're talking about some hinder calls that were so obvious from our angle that were missed, some that were called that shouldn't have been called. So I don't know what was said on the message board, but certainly there's, I would give the grade about a 80%.
15-7.
Should be a B in my book, B-. Last year, everything went well, but there were some controversial calls in very important matches. And because of those calls, I'd say that it was like 75% last year, because they happened to have, they took place actually in times when Sean Linning could have possibly lost a match versus Alan Garner in the quarterfinals, and it was a call that changed that match. And then there was another call with Paul Brady and Sean Linning in the finals that could have changed the outcome of that match.
Side out. 7-16.
Last night's doubles match had a couple strange calls for the referee.
Well, there are different levels for refs. I think the top level is what, level 6?
7-16.
5 or 6. And
I don't know. I don't talk to them.
Guys like James Comstoff, Danny Bell, they're at that highest level. But I think once handball grows to a point where we can afford to
7-16.
hire professional referees, that'll be the ideal situation for these great players.
And then you can hold them accountable, because you can find them, you can hold workshops, you can improve their games through video replay, that sort of thing.
Or you can fire them if they're not doing their job right.
You can fire them too. Here it seems to be like you look around for a referee and nobody wants to do it because they don't want to be the person that makes the bad call. But if they belong to some kind of organization where they get paid a little better than just $5 to $10 per match, it's not worth it. The criticism is not worth it. This is game number 2 We'll go back to the Dave Chapman
8-16.
Nadia Alvarado match here in just a few.
Short.
It's 8-16.
Second serve. Tied out.
There it is.
If you've just joined us, you're watching the third place match between Emmett Pichot and Luis Moreno.
16-8.
Luis won the first game. Score of 21-13. Emmett is now ahead in the second.
Tied out.
Shot of Nadia Alvarado. Getting back in the court.
8-16.
He's playing David Chapman. We'll be bringing you portions of that match when we can.
Point.
Luis closing the gap a bit.
9-16. Set out.
Oh, what a nice shot.
Now he's hearing some clapping from the crowd. Emmett Pichot.
Well, that was pretty, Dave.
16-9.
Pretty shot off the back wall.
This is for third place. Oh,
Point.
nice little dumper get up there in the front court from Emmett Pichot.
Now, there's a lesson for all you young players there. Follow that ball. No matter where it goes,
17-9.
stay with it.
17 serves 9. This is the second game. Emmett lost the first one, 21-13. Oh, almost
Point.
a
Oh, almost
incredible
got
get.
that.
We'll try to pass along the score from the
18-9.
Alvarado Chapman fifth place match with Dave Fink here in just a few. At least we'll try to get that score to pass it along.
Emmett Pichot now 2 points away from forcing a tiebreaker in this third place match.
19-9.
19 serves 9, second game. Once this one concludes, we'll just zip right on over to the other show court.
Tied out.
You know how effortlessly Luis puts that ball away.
9-19.
9 serves 19.
Tied out.
Nope, that looked like a double bounce to
Feeling
me.
a slide on the serve. I saw no slide. Both agree. Call stance side out.
I saw something weird over there.
19-9.
I tend to agree with Luis on that.
Replay.
I actually played Luis Moreno at a pro stop once.
How'd you do?
He was 17.
19-9.
1 month later, I played Armando Ortiz, who was 17.
Point.
And if you combine their ages together, it was my age.
Timeout. 1 minute. Score when we resume is 29.
I got absolutely slaughtered by
second
Luis
timeout.
Moreno, but I took Armando to a tiebreaker and lost.
Well, that's impressive. Armando is one great player. I congratulated him yesterday on his great play in that loss to Vince Munoz and Marcos Chavez.
Let's go up to Dave Fink, who's in the other show court watching Nadia Alvarado and Dave Chapman play for fifth place. Dave?
How you doing, guys? The score is now 15 serving 15. Nadia Alvarado Jr. just called for his second avoidable of this game. Both good calls. Not obvious. If Nadia had the camera on him like we did, I think he would have seen that. Dave Chapman out into serve. They actually broke a ball about 3 points ago. I think a big advantage to Nadia Alvarado Jr. This ball is extremely lively. Nadia's serving bullets. Dave Chapman's momentum has completely stalled at this point. He's now been outscored 12-3 in the last
20
15 points.
seconds.
Now, Dave, you at one point, Dave Chapman was at a 12-0 lead, right?
That's right. He's now been outscored 15-3 in those last 18
Resuming play.
points.
20 game points.
There's a
serve
back wall
9.
setup.
Let's go back.
Patented flat kill there from Dave Chapman.
Thanks.
I'll send it back to you guys, Dave.
Thanks, guys. This is game point over here for the second
Replay.
game. There's a replay. Emmett serving to Luis Moreno 20-9. We'll try to
29.
get more updates on that other court after this game concludes. We're also, you know, we talked about the refs, but we'll also have to hire somebody to do some crowd control. And a lot of fans walking in front of our camera up there.
Replay.
Sometimes I guess it's not obvious when you see a big camera staring at you. Most people probably see that every single day during their daily lives.
29.
20 serves 9. Emmett attempting to go to the tiebreaker here to see if they can battle it out for $7,000.
Set out.
I would say it's a pretty safe bet that we'll see a tiebreaker in this match.
9 plays 20.
Kind of an interesting chain of events going on that other court where it's tied at 15. Nadia Alvarado has his game back versus Dave Chapman. That ball hopped away from Luis Moreno right there. That forces a side out. That was a nice little left-handed shot, but that's a natural
20 plays 9.
hop that Emmett has.
Here's game point, game number 2.
Game, 5 minutes.
And there you have it. Emmett PEIXOTO victorious in game number 2 over Luis Moreno. And we'll be back with the final, with the tiebreaker, in just about 5 minutes here at the U.S. Open of Handball.
But quickly, let's go over to court number 2. Ben, it's Dave Chapman and Nadia Alvarado playing for 5th place, and watch a little live webcast feed. Dave Fink will try to cue us in with what's going on in this court right now, Dave.
Thanks, guys. We just broke another ball. Dave Chapman just had Nadia Alvarado Jr. on a string, ran him side to side, back and forth. Nadia Jr. actually kept himself alive, earned a pretty fat setup, killed it, but unfortunately for him, broke the ball. So we've had a little delay here, finding a ball that both players could agree to. Dave Chapman now to serve. The score is now 16 serving 15. Nelson Quintero calling this game. We don't have linesmen here. Nelson actually doing a pretty admirable job reffing these two giants of the game.
That was a beautiful shot right there from Nadia Alvarado.
Nadia's back wall has been pretty flawless here during his comeback. Didn't receive too many back wall setups early in this game when he trailed 12-0, but he's earned setups on nearly every point since. He's executed most of them. 15 serving 16.
Does Dave Chapman look like he's tiring out a little bit here? Dave Fink?
Well, Dave, I think it's a combination of Dave Chapman a little bit fatigued and Nadia Jr. playing a lot better handball. I've noticed Dave Chapman taking a few balls on a short hop rather than letting him get to the back wall. I think he wants to try and save his legs a little bit rather than running 10 or 15 feet back for a back wall setup. Here's a back wall setup right here.
You're right about Nadia Alvarado's left hand. It looks so much better this tournament than previous years. I don't know what he has done, but
that's such a smart shot there from Nadia Alvarado Jr. He had Dave Chapman pinned on his left hip, and he used that left corner to angle that ball away from Dave Chapman. We don't see Nadia Alvarado Jr. kill too many balls in the corners, but he definitely can do it.
Let's listen for the score if we can. Okay, Nadia Alvarado's going to take a timeout. Dave, what was the last score there? 16-16?
That's right. The score is now 16 serving 16. We have a 1 minute timeout. I'm going to actually grab a quick word with a good friend of Dave Chapman, Saul. Saul, you've probably watched Dave Chapman play more handball than anybody in this club. You grew up playing racquetball, actually hands against the racket with Dave Chapman at the Long Beach Athletic Club. What do you see in Dave's game right now, and what areas do you think he needs to improve to get his game back to where it was 4 or 5 years ago?
Well, by what I see, he looks very precise with his game. But his left hand is a little weak. He should go for the kill a little more. He should be a little more aggressive.
Thank you very much, Saul. That's what we saw. A lot of what Dave Chapman was doing early in the first game, executed a number of left-hand back wall rollouts straight back down the left side wall. Just a phenomenal shot. Looks like these to come back in and play.
You're watching the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. It's the men's 5th place match. Dave Chapman versus Nadia Alvarado. The score is tied at 16. We're going to watch some action here. Dave Fink is up in the stands watching this one as we have a 5-minute.
Great serve there from Nadia Alvarado Jr. Blasted a reverse right behind him. He's actually hit that serve short nearly every time he's attempted it. The score is now 16 serving 16. I was mistaken. We're tied at 16. We've seen a lot of that from Nadia Alvarado Jr. here in this first game. A number of short serves, trying to barely blaze that ball past the short line. There's a Z serve from Nadia Alvarado Jr.
That's a sight out there. Dave, for those that just tuned in, we're watching the 5th place men's finals between Chapman and Alvarado. This is a replay of the 2004 USHA 4-Wall Nationals from Portland, Oregon, where Dave Chapman beat Nadia Alvarado in a tiebreaker.
That's right. That was a great match, and this is turning out to be a great match as well. For those who aren't sure, this could very easily be a final. These players are playing at an incredibly high level. I think both their games have improved, actually, as this week has gone on, despite the number of matches they've put in. Let's listen here to Nadia Alvarado Jr. Dave Chapman's arguing. Dave Chapman arguing with the ref. Generally, when Dave Chapman argues with the ref, he's nearly correct every time. Looks like he's going to have to stick with Nelson Quintero's decision. Nelson is the most easily persuaded ref there is in the business in any sport. I've never seen anybody so willing to change their call. A lot of times they tell you there's no point in arguing because the call's not going to change. Well, that's not true if Nelson's your ref. The call will change.
Well, both of these players know that, though, Dave.
I'm not so sure Nelson's done much reffing. I know he's never reffed Dave Chapman before. He's done a little bit of reffing for Nadia Alvarado Jr. This is a very intense rally. Dave Chapman, unfortunately, able to get behind that ball. As I was saying, though, guys, both these players' level of play has improved tremendously throughout the course of the week, and I think that's a factor of neither of these guys playing a lot of tournaments. Obviously, Dave Chapman just coming back. This is his 3rd event, his 2nd tournament. Nadia Alvarado Jr. has played only 1 tournament since last year's Simple Green U.S. Open, so certainly it takes a few matches to acclimate yourself to tournament conditions and also to this level of play. I think both these guys wish they had this game starting on Thursday rather than right now, but certainly this is a big match for both of them. They're playing for 5th place. There's a substantial amount of money on the line to the winner of this match. Certainly enough to have both these guys motivated, but the real motivation lies in their pride. Nadia Alvarado Jr. stepping in here to serve. 16 serving 16.
This has been rather a long game.
Very long game. We've seen a number of side outs here.
The Emmett Peixoto-Luis Moreno match started just 15-20 minutes prior to this one.
Hang on, guys.
And that one's already in a tiebreaker. We're still in the first game at 16 here.
Okay, let's play ball. We're starting the tiebreaker, the 3rd place match.
Beautiful.
0-0.
Pass there from Nadia Alvarado Jr. going behind Dave Chapman. That ball actually popped up a little bit off the back wall. Dave Chapman gave up on it. Content to save his energy.
Dave, we're gonna cut back over to the Luis Moreno Emmett Peixoto tiebreaker, and we'll catch you and Dave Chapman and Nadia Alvarado in just a bit. Thanks for the update.
Talk to you soon, guys.
Yep. Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball. This is for 3rd place and $7,000 in cash. A lot of people want to watch Nadia Alvarado and Dave Chapman, so we'll make sure to
0-0.
try to flip over there during towel timeouts and get updates from Dave Fink, who has the microphone. In the meantime, though, this is what you tuned in for right here, 3rd place.
1-0.
Going to 11, Luis Moreno. 1 serve 0 against Emmett Peixoto.
Point. 2-0. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Who knows what would have happened? Sorry, man.
Emmett's a little upset. The door swung open, but Emmett saying, hey,
2-0.
I took care of the play right there. The door is not even in play, he said. And James said, well, who knows what would have happened. James just called that play because the door swung open, but he's looking for the safety of the players.
Point.
Again, Emmett gets to that point where every single call has been against him. He feels this tournament.
3-0.
3-0, Luis Moreno.
Replay.
$7,000 on the line for third place and $4,000
3-0.
for fourth.
Not bad for the loser.
No, not a bad payday at all.
You're playing for money and ranking points and pride here. Plus, these guys will probably meet up once again at the Yes to Kids Pro Stop in Tucson, Arizona. More than likely in a couple weeks. 4-0. Referee is James Comstoff. We can really hear his microphone through our headphones.
Replay that.
You see both of these players chirping at the referee here. James Comstoff not letting them play through these
4-0.
miniature hinder calls.
Point.
Deadly.
First time out, 1 minute. Score when we resume is 5-0.
You know, all the tiebreakers that we've seen so far in this tournament have all seemed like the one person has jumped out to a 5 or 4-0 lead. As we're going back to the Alvarado-Chapman match really briefly, Mr. Fink, what's going on with the score?
18 serving 18. Nadia Alvarado Jr. just rolled out a Dave Chapman power serve. Dave Chapman trying to hit a reverse down the left. The ball didn't stay down the left wall. It came out, and Nadia Alvarado Jr. able to roll that ball out. Nadia Alvarado Jr. another short serve, trying to serve behind him to the left. Came up about a foot short once again. Looks like, guys, he might need to adjust the height of that front wall serve. Needs to hit that ball a little bit higher. He's wasting a lot of energy serving all these shorts, getting nothing in return for
20
them.
seconds.
On the other court, Luis Moreno jumped out Dave to a 5-0 lead against Emmett PEIXOTO.
Actually, I was standing right next to James Comstoff when he made two horrendous calls, guys. I heard you talking about the rest, but that call where the door flew open was incredibly unlucky for Emmett PEIXOTO.
You see that shot that Dave just made right there with the fist?
Remarkable.
Well, when you're good, you're lucky too. Isn't that what they say, Dave? Very fortunate there, miss hit. Dave Chapman going back to his lob serve.
Let's go back to this match. Thanks for the update, Dave. Two tight matches going on at the same time. We're at 18 over for fifth place between Alvarado and Chapman. Here, though, it's Luis Moreno and Emmett PEIXOTO in the tiebreaker. The score is 5-0. Winner, $7,000 in cash. Luis is in the box.
That was an interesting comment by Dave Fink. When you're good, you're lucky. Although I don't think David Chapman has gotten where he is based on luck. But I know what Dave is saying.
Actually, Dave took that shot. He was trying to make the shot in that corner, and he executed it. It's a strange. I've never seen somebody hit a soft fist before.
You know, there's a lot of things that Dave Chapman does that you haven't seen before.
I've never seen anybody do that. And that's the first time out of all the years of handball seeing a guy stand 28, 30 feet back and hit a soft fist. Mr. Fink, what's going on here? Another broken ball?
No, actually, Nadia Alvarado Jr. just hit Dave Chapman with the ball. The ball is so soaking wet they had to send it up to Nelson. Nelson's drawing the ball with a towel. I think if either player tried to drive him with their gloves, dry that ball with the gloves, they'd have to change their gloves. That's how much sweat is coming off of Dave Chapman's body. Just in the first game, he's already gone through 4 T-shirts.
We're switching back and forth.
Score is now 19 serving 18. Dave Chapman serving here.
In case you just tuned in, we're switching back and forth between 5th place and 3rd place. Dave Chapman serving first game 19-18 against Nadia Alvarado. Luis Moreno has 6. Emmett PEIXOTO has 0 on the show court here in the tiebreaker.
Dave Chapman just calling a double bounce on himself, diving in, trying to pick up that Nadia Alvarado Jr. kill.
Okay, we're going to go back to Luis
7-0.
and Emmett PEIXOTO. 7 serve 0, tiebreaker to 11. Emmett cannot get anything going here. Kind of an interesting sight at the Los Caballeros Sports Village. Bruce Fabrizio and Simple Green has catered In-N-Out Burger. That's the In-N-Out Burger truck. They're actually going to make their burgers and fries right here in front of the club.
8-0.
8 serve 0. That's the sound you hear through our microphones.
Second serve.
Anton Wilson, who is here in the webcast booth, has a doubles match coming up, and he's looking at this truck going, oh yeah. Oh yeah. I hope that thing's still around at about 12:30.
Right out.
In-N-Out Burger.
Have you seen everything in broadcasting, haven't you, Ben?
Yes, I have, and especially this weekend.
They like to park their vehicles right next to our booth.
Fly ball, replay.
Well,
The hop's on the ground. It's not on the wall.
looks like they're moving it
Okay,
a ways
he's
away.
appealing it. I called it a slide on the wall. Both disagree. It's a side out.
Wow, side out. James Comstoff overturned. That's another overturn call.
No, yours doesn't count.
Some controversy in here with some of these calls from the refs this weekend. But that's what happens when you've got walls that are slick. The last few days it was because of all the activities going on inside the club. Now today it's because of all the precipitation outside. It's really foggy today. Cold outside and warm inside. Nice shot from Emmett. Maybe that call might get underneath his skin just a little bit.
0-8.
0 serves 8. While this rally is taking place, let's just get a verbal score update from Dave Fink.
Score is 19 serving 19. Nelson Alvarado just called a point for Nadia Alvarado Jr. on a corner kill. Dave Chapman able to reverse the call. That's about Nelson's 10th reversal of this game. Nadia Jr. will be serving after they wipe the floor at 19 serving 19.
Thank you. That's game number 1 for 5th place. Nadia Alvarado and Dave Chapman here. Tiebreaker to 11. Luis Moreno is up. Another side out from Luis. Emmett can't get going here in the tiebreaker.
And Luis is in very good shape.
8-1.
8-1. Very good shape to pick up 3rd place here at the U.S.
Second
Open.
serve. Side out.
That was a nice shot from Emmett, an almost good get from Luis Moreno. Let's go back over to court number 2 and catch the action. Alvarado and Dave Chapman. Look at that action.
Guys, we're actually in a
That is
timeout
action.
here, a glove change. Score is still 19 serving 19. I'll keep you posted.
Hey, did we coordinate the timeouts on those 2 courts at the exact same time?
That's timing.
There's Nadia Alvarado during that timeout as he gets prepared.
Timing is everything in life. You know, I just said that Luis Moreno was in good shape to win 3rd place here by being ahead 8-1 in the tiebreaker. But then I remembered that, in fact, Luis Moreno was down 0-8 in the tiebreaker against Paul Brady and came back to win it.
That's a good point.
Let's not count Emmett out just yet.
1-8.
Well, we determined yesterday this is a tournament of comebacks and tiebreakers. Oh, that was a good get right there. Nice crack from Emmett, who looks like he's newly energized here. That's a good call. Luis gave James the look up there.
I'm watching.
That was absolutely a good call.
I think Luis is talking about a follow through.
If it's there.
I think Luis is saying that he followed through and hit Emmett on the follow through, but that's what happens
1-8.
when you hit the ball back at yourself. You're going to have your opponent dive into you, and that might also include the follow through. That wouldn't necessarily be an avoidable hinder if you hit it back at yourself. There's really nothing your opponent could do. Oh, there's contact right there. There's contact on that shot. Emmett should actually get a replay here.
Replay that.
Yep.
Luis gave James a quick look. I'm surprised James didn't pick that up. Emmett had a lobby for that call, but it was really obvious.
1-8.
1 serves 8. Now you can see the crowd packed into the courts here. I'm not sure if the crowd is here to watch handball or just to experience the In-N-Out burger.
Excuse me, that's a point.
Dave, do you think there's a better quality in the officiating as the morning wears on, as the day wears on?
2-8.
Is it that early morning cobweb effect?
I think it's that you're talking about the matches now are tense and the calls are going to be disputed every single call. A good handball player will dispute as many calls as they possibly can because, like you saw earlier, Emmett disputed it's not a controversial call, but he had contact with Luis and he disputed it, and James overturned his own call. There's another contact right there. You see that?
After your swing. It's after
See,
your swing.
Luis would never do that before, but now he is.
Luis. It's after you've hit it, man.
But you see now that they're kind of putting the pinch out here with every single shot seems to be a lot more tense.
Yep.
The score is 3-8. Emmett is serving. Tiebreaker. During this rally, maybe we can get a quick score from Dave Fink before we go back over there. Dave?
Guys, the score is 18 serving 19. Nadia Alvarado Jr. serving. They just had a Legends timeout. It was about a 6-minute timeout. Just now resuming play.
Wow,
I actually have the best seat in handball right now, standing right next to James Comstock. I'm watching both courts at the same time. Looks like we're finally ready to resume play over here after about a 6-minute timeout. 19 serving 19. Nadia Alvarado Jr. just earning a quick point. Power serve down the left. Dave Chapman, a best return of the match. Ran it right down that right side wall from the ceiling. Now we've got a nice, beautiful ceiling rally here. Nadia Alvarado Jr. takes the shot with his left. Dave Chapman picked that ball up. Went for the soft dump.
It's like Dave left that ball up right there, Mr. Fink.
Tremendous play there, though, from Dave Chapman. That's almost a tennis play. That's almost a drop shot lob type of thing. Dave Chapman just shoved that ball nice and softly up in that left corner. Nadia Jr. had to run up. Dave Chapman takes the next one out of the air and sends Nadia Alvarado Jr. all the way back to the back wall. Ball did come off the back wall just a little bit.
Okay, Dave, thank you for that. We're back to the tiebreaker, 8-3. We'll catch more of the Chapman-Alvarado match as the scores become available, and we have the time to flip over to that court. That was a nice get from Emmett, even though it was replayed. 8-3.
8-3.
As the score here in this tiebreaker, Ben.
And the pressure is on Emmett to come up with a plan here.
Point.
That's ratcheted up another notch. 9-3.
Emmett looks like he's a little tired here.
You're watching the tiebreaker of the men's third place match here at the U.S. Open.
Side out.
Emmett comes up to serve.
3-9.
Three serves 9.
Side out.
Luis is thanking James Comstock right there for allowing him to play through that.
9-3.
I mean, you saw the obvious contact, but James is not going to take away that.
Right.
That serve. You see a lot of loss of motivation here from Emmett. I think he's drained physically. This is what happens when you stay up late the night before your match.
How do you know that he stayed up late?
I just know things.
Point.
There it is, 10-3.
Match point, serves 3. Bad bounce, replay.
Yeah, that was really a bad bounce there.
10-3.
Luis Moreno has a chance to win $7,000 in cash right here.
Match.
Oh, he got it. And Luis Moreno has just won third place at the Simple Green U.S. Open of Handball and pockets $7,000 in the process.
Proof that Luis Moreno is the man. Luis is the man. $7,000 in cash. Now look at this right here. Luis talking to Emmett PEIXOTO. This is two guys that are good friends. Luis stopping over there to say, you know, cheer up. It's all good. Hope everything's okay. This is obviously affecting Emmett PEIXOTO, this loss right here. Don't see him too emotional like this. He certainly doesn't want to leave the court right now. Luis consulting him, but also winning the $7,000 in cash. Let's go over to the first game of the men's 5th place and a rematch of the 2004 Four-Wall Nationals between Dave Chapman and Nadi Alvarado Jr. with Dave Fink as the reporter. Dave?
Scores now 20 serving 20. Dave Chapman served this point. There's a side out. Beautiful kill from Nadi Alvarado Jr. Went for that bottom board facing game point. He'll now serve for the second time at 20. Thrilling third place match there. Luis Moreno certainly establishing himself as one of the top 4 players in the world right now at just 20 years of age. 20 serving 20.
Let's watch this rally. Here's a setup for Nadi.
That was the worst shot Nadi's hit all game. Put that ball straight into the floor off the back wall. Uncharacteristic.
Now, Dave, is this the third serve for Dave Chapman at 20 now?
This is the second serve for Dave Chapman at 20. Looks like he's going to go to that modified 3-wall overhand serve. He has not had much success with this late in this first game. Nadi Alvarado Jr. rolled out about 3 of these balls in a row on his 15-3 run.
Going to try to hit dead center in the back wall. Looks like he got it.
Here's the setup he wants. And Dave puts it away. Beautiful reverse pass down the left. After about 2.5 hours, guys, Dave Chapman wins that first.